There are dozens of tutorials showing LEGO building techniques online, but most of them are useless for 90% of the builds you might design. You don't need to know how to make a perfect sphere or use a rare piece found in only 3 sets from 10 years ago in most of your models. But there are few universal techniques that can be used in almost any build. They are the ones that separate the models that look like toys from the ones that look like professional display pieces. Today I'm going to show you the 4 techniques that are actually worth your time and will increase the standard of your models. In most LEGO sets, the standard units are simple. Horizontally, you have one stud which is a square, and vertically you have one brick which is a rectangle. On top of that, one brick is equal to 3 plates in height. That is the mainstream knowledge that everyone knows about. But builders who make those insane custom models use a secret third unit of measurements, the half plate. It is exactly what it sounds like, a measurement that is half a thickness of a standard plate. It is 1/6 of a brick height, and despite seeming simple, it totally changes the way you build. The most important application of it is how it connects the one stud with one brick height. If you turn a brick on its side and place it next to a stud, you will notice that it is a bit longer. But if you take one stud width and add a half plate thickness to it, suddenly it equals exactly to one brick in height. This is why the pieces like brackets and panels are so powerful. To most people they just look like weird connectors. But the thin wall that sticks out is exactly half a plate thick. It is a key to unlocking a whole new level of complexity and details in your models. And now that you know it is a thing, you will start seeing it everywhere. You can use brackets to perfectly fill in gaps in walls, or you can use that offset to create smoother gradients with slopes. If you want to master this specific technique, I actually made a deep dive video just about it, and the link will be in the description. The next technique involves mastering LEGO geometry, specifically using slopes and wedges properly. Most beginners think these two are totally different categories. They use wedge plates for horizontal things like wings and slopes for vertical stuff like roofs. But when building custom models and using different techniques to change direction of building, like the brackets we just talked about, you can flip them however you want. You can use the slopes sideways and the other way around. But the most important thing that most people miss is that slopes and wedges often share the exact same angle. They are mathematically compatible. For example, a standard 1x2 slope has a 45-degree angle. But if you look at a 2x2 wedge plate or a corner tile, they are also that 45-degree angle. This means you can connect a vertical slope to a horizontal wedge seamlessly with zero gaps. It works for other part families too. The 1x3 slope matches up with a specific wedge and the cheese slopes line up with others. I've made a whole cheat sheet for this that you can see on the screen right now, and you can download it for yourself, the link is in the description. I love this technique because it lets you create seamless textures that you almost never see in official LEGO sets. It feels a bit like a gatekept knowledge, but it's really just understanding the parts you are building with. The third technique is a bit ugly. It's a backstage trick that you rarely see in official sets because it's fragile, but it's the backbone of almost every top tier custom build. It can be called freeform hinging. To put it simply, we are using clips, bars and ball joints to completely break the square grid. This is the moment where LEGO stops being a predictable system of stacking bricks and starts feeling more like sculpting. Let's say you need a wall that is angled exactly at 30 degrees. You could try to build it using a staircase of slopes and then flip it sideways, but it looks blocky. But there's a better way to do it using this new technique. You build a normal clean flat wall out of bricks, but instead of placing it normally on the floor, you attach it using 1 or 2 hinge clips. Now you can tilt that entire wall to fit perfectly between the other sections of your build. You are just trying to make the wall sit cleanly with the rest of the ship you are building. A useful thing to know is that if you use one joint, you get rotation in just one place, which is stronger but allows for less movement and precise fitment, and if you use 2 joints, you can move the wall forward and backwards and rotate it on top of what one hinge allows you to do already. This gives you a total freedom to fill any gap, but it can be flimsy and hard to get it right. It isn't always pretty on the inside, but it is exactly how good builders get those impossible shapes. The final technique that feels the most like cheating, but it's essential for modern building, is the family of smaller techniques that allow you to get the reverse stats. This is basically hacking the system so you can have a connection points on both sides of your build. There are 2 types of them. a normal reversal connection, where you have the studs facing out on both top and bottom, and the other version, the inverted one, where you have the bottom of the studs facing out on both sides. I have prepared and will show you in a second couple of the most useful variations of this technique. The most common one you have to know is using a modified brick with a stud on the side and mounting a bottom bracket to it facing down. This creates a super strong connection that is exactly one brick tall and only 2 studs wide. It's perfect because it can be repeated side by side multiple times. The next one is a bit more vertical. If you don't have the width for the previous one, you can trade width for height. By using a bar connected to a plate with a hole, you can get the reversal that is only 1 stud wide, but because of that it's about 5 plates tall. One of the smallest techniques is the modified plate method. This is the most compact option, but you have to deal with the plate sticking out on the side, which can sometimes be annoying to hide. But for small scale models, it's often the only thing that fits, as it's only 1 plate tall. Then we have a very simple one, but it's actually a bit niche and rarely used. It's a modified brick with a studs on the opposite sides, and when you use it sideways, it creates a reversal that is exactly 2.5 plates tall. It utilizes that half plate offset we talked about earlier, which makes it a bit niche but very useful for specific gaps. You can also use the hinges we just discussed. A ball joint creates a reversal connection that is nearly 1 plate tall, or you can get a bar with a clip to get a similar effect, though it's usually a half plate taller. Finally, for the inverted solution where you need a bottom part on both sides, the main 2 techniques are both based on the 1x1 round tile with a bar, and connecting either a 1x1 round plate with a hole to it to get a 2.5 plate tall solution, or a plate with a clip to get a 2 plate tall solution that is a bit wider. And that's it. Those are the 4 techniques that every advanced builder is using, but you rarely hear them talking about. The important thing is not to try to force all of them into your next build, but just know they exist. Next time you are stuck on a weird gap or an ugly angle, remember that you can probably solve it with a half plate offset or a well-placed hinge. And if you want to see all of the practical applications of the half plate offset, you can click on the video on the screen right now. And if you haven't already, go get the angle cheat sheet, the link is in the description.